not a big science fiction guy. I never liked Star Trek or any of those. I loved Firefly, but I found out later the reason I liked it. It was written as a Western with spaceships. I love Westerns. But I may be wrong on this, but you might have noticed, if you're a sci-fi enthusiast, Blade Runner, when I put together, I saw the original just maybe within the last year. I never did see the whole thing. So I sat down one day, saw it on the streaming. I said, I'll check that out. Harrison Ford, good old days. And I believe that they're in a dystopian setting, and there had been a war or whatever, and it's a dystopian setting where the Chinese speakers end up in power. Let's just remove the cows. The Chinese speakers end up in power, and my thinking was, well, because they're the largest population probably, and war of attrition. Then there was another one. Gosh darn, don't let me forget it. There's another sci-fi movie story. Oh, it's a popular one. I can't think of it. But same thing. China was the victorious superpower after this dystopian, or they're in a dystopian setting, and probably after a post-nuclear thing or something like that. And the victors were the Chinese. You got all these people speaking Chinese and all that, and the Anglo is definitely not the lead here. But it's the same story like Blade Runner, where something happened. Now it's a dystopian situation, and the Chinese were obviously the winners. I think then they had the same thing in the I think Firefly had the same type of thing, where it was the one group came out ahead. Now, I could be wrong. As I said, I've never been to sci-fi or any of that stuff. Maybe you could tell me otherwise. If so, I'd be curious. But I found it interesting that a sci-fi, these authors, because this all came from books originally, storytellers, had the idea that China wins in the end. And then their story begins. Beautiful day out here. We finally got some rain. We got some pretty good snow up in the hills. I'm trying to talk slowly, because if I talk fast, I'll have a lisp. I've had these 3 teeth here pulled. I now have NHL. I can play hockey. I had 3 teeth pulled. I've had a lot of teeth pulled this last year and a half. And we're going to have the implants. But to do that, in my situation, I had bone loss. So they have to do bone implants. Kind of gross. And then it takes 4 months. So that's where I'm in the wait now. Trying to choose my words and speech carefully. Anyhow, I'll shut up. Do the Chinese win in the end, according to all these sci-fis? I have to say, that's the only stuff I've ever seen. Maybe if you're a sci-fi person, you can say, oh yeah, that's always the case, or whatever. Or it's some space aliens or whatever, But I found it interesting where a common theme, in my opinion, was the Chinese win. Love you, God bless.